This just happened, and it could change the future of American auto manufacturing. A major Stellantis plant shutdown is sending shockwaves across the U.S. Workers blindsided, suppliers panicking, investors suddenly nervous. And the big question everyone is asking right now, is this just restructuring or the beginning of something much bigger for Stellantis and the entire American auto industry? The announcement came fast and caught many people off guard. Stellantis confirmed a temporary or potentially indefinite shutdown at a key U.S. manufacturing facility, and this isn't just some small satellite plant. This is a major production hub that builds some of the most important vehicles in Stellantis's lineup, including trucks and SUVs that generate huge profit margins. Depending on the location, we're talking about factories responsible for vehicles like the Ram 1500, Jeep Grand Cherokee, and even the Chrysler Pacifica. These plants support thousands of direct workers and tens of thousands of indirect jobs across suppliers, logistics companies, and local businesses. In some towns, the plant is the economy, and when the plant goes dark, everything around it feels the impact immediately. The timeline is also concerning. Some shutdowns are immediate, others phased in, but the uncertainty is what's terrifying workers and investors alike. So why is this happening right now? The first major reason is slowing sales and massive inventory pileups. Interest rates have skyrocketed, and suddenly that $70,000 pickup truck isn't affordable anymore for the average buyer. Monthly payments have exploded, and consumers are pulling back. Dealer lots are filling up with unsold trucks and SUVs, and Stellantis, like other automakers, has been forced to throw massive incentives at buyers just to move metal. But those incentives destroy profit margins, and when margins shrink, plants become vulnerable. Automakers don't keep factories running at full capacity if the vehicles aren't selling. Then there's the EV transition pressure. Stellantis has pledged billions, tens of billions, toward electrification. They're racing to compete with Tesla, with Chinese giants like BYD, and with other legacy automakers that are going all in on electric platforms. But here's the problem. Electric vehicles still aren't selling at the levels executives predicted just a few years ago. Consumers are hesitant, charging infrastructure is uneven, and EV profits are nowhere near gas and diesel truck profits. If gas-powered trucks slow down faster than EVs ramp up, companies like Stellantis get squeezed from both sides. That gap can be deadly. And finally, there's aggressive cost-cutting and global restructuring. Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares is known for ruthless efficiency. He's famous for slashing costs, consolidating factories, and pushing profitability metrics that Wall Street loves. That strategy helped merge and stabilize multiple brands, but it also means underperforming plants don't get mercy. Factory consolidation is happening not just in the US, but across Europe and other markets. Shareholders want profits, not sentimental attachment to legacy facilities, and when pressure rises, shutdowns become a strategic move rather than a last resort. Now let's talk about the big scary headline: bankruptcy fears. Is this real, or is it clickbait panic? People are comparing this to the General Motors bankruptcy in 2009 or the dark days of Chrysler restructuring when government bailouts kept Detroit alive. On paper, Stellantis is not GM in 2009. They still have significant cash reserves, and their global footprint gives them diversified revenue streams. Debt levels are not catastrophic, and profit trends, while pressured, are not collapsing across the board. But plant shutdowns always spark fear because they're visible signs of stress. The real question is whether this is controlled downsizing, cutting weak links to stay strong, or the first domino in a much larger collapse scenario. The impact on America is massive. For workers, this means layoffs, furloughs, and massive uncertainty. The United Auto Workers Union is watching closely, and any long-term shutdown could trigger negotiations, protests, or political pressure. Entire communities built around these factories could feel economic shockwaves. Restaurants, car dealerships, housing markets, small businesses, all tied to those paychecks. When a plant shuts down, it's not just workers who suffer, it's an entire ecosystem. Suppliers are another huge risk. Tier 1 and Tier 2 suppliers depend on steady production volumes. If Stellantis cuts production, those suppliers lose contracts, revenue collapses, and layoffs ripple outward. The auto industry is a massive domino system. When one big OEM stops, dozens or hundreds of smaller companies feel the pain. A prolonged shutdown could trigger a cascading effect across the supply chain. And then, there's the truck market. If Ram production drops, competitors could benefit. Ford's F-150, Chevrolet Silverado, and even Toyota's Tacoma could see increased demand. Less supply often means higher prices, but only if demand remains strong. If consumers keep pulling back, we could see price wars instead, with automakers fighting over shrinking buyer pools. This could reshape the full-size pickup landscape in ways we haven't seen in decades. Zooming out, this is part of a bigger industry shift. The auto industry may be entering a survival of the strongest era. North America might have too much manufacturing capacity for the demand that actually exists. EV demand hasn't matched the hype, while gas vehicles face regulatory and political pressure. Legacy automakers are stuck in a dangerous middle zone, too invested in gas, not profitable enough in EVs, and facing competition from tech-driven newcomers and ultra-low-cost Chinese manufacturers. There are warning signs everyone should be watching. More plant idling announcements across Detroit and beyond. Dealers offering insane discounts just to clear inventory. Credit markets tightening, making it harder for consumers to finance vehicles. And stock price volatility as investors try to predict which automakers will survive the transition and which ones will stumble. So the real question is this the beginning of a new Detroit crisis, or just smart restructuring to survive a brutal transition? Would you still buy a Ram truck right now, knowing production uncertainty is growing? And is the American auto industry heading toward another collapse, or just a painful transformation that will separate winners from losers? In the next video, we're going to break down the next automaker that could be forced to shut down a major plant, and why the warning signs are already flashing right now. And when you look deeper, this Stellantis shutdown might be less about one company and more about a massive structural shift that nobody wants to talk about openly. For decades, American automakers relied on trucks and SUVs as their profit machines. Those vehicles funded research, paid dividends, kept factories running, and kept workers employed. But now, those same vehicles are becoming too expensive for the average buyer, and the financing system that propped up sales is starting to crack. Subprime auto loans are rising, lenders are tightening standards, and suddenly millions of buyers who used to walk into a dealership and drive out with a $70,000 truck can't qualify anymore. That demand cliff hits production directly, and production cuts hit plants first. There's also a geopolitical angle that's quietly adding pressure. Chinese automakers are flooding global markets with ultra-cheap EVs, and even though many aren't sold directly in the US, yet they're destroying profit margins in Europe, Asia, and developing markets where Stellantis operates. That global profit squeeze means Stellantis has less cash to subsidize US operations. So when executives look at spreadsheets, the harsh reality is that some American plants simply don't make financial sense in a world where global competition is brutal and consumers are pulling back. What makes this more unsettling is that Stellantis isn't a small player. This is a giant conglomerate that owns Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Peugeot, and more. If a company this large is shutting down major plants, it suggests the industry is under far more stress than executives are publicly admitting. Automakers hate signaling weakness because it spooks investors and consumers. So when a shutdown becomes public, it's usually because the financial math is impossible to hide. Investors are already reacting in subtle ways. Analysts are questioning Stellantis' long-term North American strategy, especially as incentives rise and profit per vehicle drops. Some are asking whether Stellantis will double down on high-margin luxury and performance models or retreat from certain mainstream segments entirely. Others are speculating about mergers, asset sales, or even brand shutdowns in the next decade. That's how serious the conversation has become behind closed doors. Politically, this could explode into a major issue. Manufacturing jobs are a sensitive topic in the U.S., and plant shutdowns always become political talking points. Expect lawmakers to pressure Stellantis, unions to push for government intervention, and media to frame this as another sign of industrial decline. We've seen this movie before, and the optics are powerful: empty parking lots, idle assembly lines, and towns wondering what comes next. But here's the twist. Some analysts argue this is exactly what Stellantis should be doing. Instead of bleeding money to keep underutilized plants alive, they're cutting early to stay profitable. In that view, shutdowns are a sign of discipline, not desperation. Automakers that refuse to cut capacity could end up like companies that collapsed under the weight of outdated factories and unsold vehicles. The brutal truth is that fewer plants might mean a stronger company, even if it means fewer jobs. The real danger is if this becomes contagious. If Ford, GM, or other automakers start announcing similar shutdowns at scale, that's when the narrative shifts from restructuring to systemic crisis. The moment multiple legacy automakers idle major facilities in the same year, investors, consumers, and policymakers will start talking about another Detroit-style collapse scenario. And this is why the next few months are critical. Watch production reports. Watch inventory levels. Watch interest rates, and watch how aggressively automakers discount vehicles. These are the early indicators of whether we're headed for stabilization or a deeper contraction. Because once plants start shutting down en masse, it's incredibly hard to reverse course. So the big question remains: is Stellantis just making a strategic move to survive the EV transition, or are we watching the first visible cracks in a massive industrial system that's been overstretched for years? And if this is just the beginning, which American automaker will be next to pull the plug on a major factory, and what happens to the workers, towns, and investors when that happens?